show, if you remember, it was basically, it was most of the time it was just Drew and Kathy Kenny, the actress who played Mimi, and they would, fight each other, and I played the English boss, Mr. Wick, and I'd come in and go, "Kenny, you're fired," once a week, and then I'd go to my trailer and play with fruit for a week. So I was bored. They were nice people, but I was bored. So what I did in order to pass the time, we made the Drew Carey Show in the Warner Brothers studio lot, which is a huge studio lot. They make everything there, movies and TV shows, everything. So what I did was I started reading the screenplays, the scripts to movies that were in production at the time, just to pass the time. This is about 18 years ago. And it was a very interesting point. I read a screenplay to a movie called Twister. You guys remember that movie, Twister? About the tornado and the cows like, "Oh, tornado." Well, it's very interesting because the script was rubbish, but the movie was shit. So I thought, well, that's what I'll do to pass the time. I'll write screenplays. I don't know if I can write any better than this, but it's scientifically impossible to write anything worse. So I wrote some screenplays and they did okay, and we made them into movies, and one of the movies did really well, and this is where you meet your hero thing. There was a movie I did called Saving Grace, and it did very well. Good movie, did well. We won the Sundance Film Festival. It made a little money. And after it had been in the theaters for about a month, I got a phone call from a lovely upper-class English woman who said, "Hello, my name's Victoria." And I was like, ooh, half chub. I've always had a thing for upper-class English women. They really do it for me. I always enjoy doing to them what their ancestors did to my ancestors. But with more kissing. So this lovely woman said, "Hello, my name's Victoria. I loved your film, Saving Grace." I was like, "Thank you very much." She said, "Yes, I run Mick Jagger's film company." Mick Jagger, yes, it's true. Mick Jagger, my hero when I was a kid. I had an 8-foot poster of Mick Jagger on my bedroom wall for years. You know the one where he's like... Mick Jagger, I was like, "What?" She said, "Yes, Mick loved your film too." I was like, "Oh, that's great." She went, "Yes, actually, Mick's had an idea for a movie, and he thinks you might be the right person to write the screenplay. He was wondering, may he call you?" I said, "Yes. Yes, he may call me." So this is all true, I swear. So we set the time up, and a couple of days later, I'm waiting by the phone, and I'm nervous, and I'm kind of... And Mick Jagger called me himself. And that's not easy for him to do with a little hand, but he did it. And I tried to break the ice with a joke. It was a stupid thing to say, but I said, "Hello, Mick. Victoria tells me you're a singer." And he kind of went... I was like, "Oh, I've blown it already." And then he said, "All right, well, I've had an idea for a film." I was like, "Oh, what is it?" He went, "Well, here's my idea, all right." I was like, "Okay." Right. I think he was doing that. I could sort of hear it. He went, "Yeah, I've got an idea for a film. Here it is. Well, what it is it's about a rock star and a roadie. And what happens is, for some reason, they have to swap places. And then they have an adventure." I was like, "Go on." And he did. He went on and he described the story, which as I was listening to it, I realized that he was saying beat for beat, almost word for word, the story of The Prince and the Pauper, written by Mark Twain about 150 years previously. What the fuck am I going to say? It's Mick Jagger, my childhood hero. What am I going to say? Look, if Sean Connery calls me up and says, "Craig, I've got an idea for a film. It's called Treasure Island. It's about a pirate called Long Sean Connery. He's got a parrot and shit." I'd be like, "Great idea, Sean Connery. How did you come up with that?" "Well, I was just watching a movie and it came to me." Anyway, so Mick Jagger, this is true. Mick Jagger's talking about his movie idea, and I pitched a couple of ideas in, and he says, I'm not kidding, this really happened. He goes, "Actually, I think you are the right person to write the screenplay. Can you meet me next Wednesday and we'll get started? We'll spitball and get ideas going and stuff and get going." I was like, "Yes." He went, "All right, Victoria will set it up," and he hangs up. Now, this is about 17 years ago. It's not easy for him to do that either. And then, this is about 17 years ago, and the Rolling Stones at the time are on the Bridges to Babylon tour. It's a big, giant world tour. They're going all over the place. And I find out next Wednesday they're going to be in Istanbul, Turkey. I can't go to Istanbul, Turkey. I've got to walk on stage in Burbank and say, "Okay, you're fired," and then go fuck a melon. I've got a job! But I go to see Drew, because Drew Carey was my boss then. He's my friend now. We've been friends for 20 years. He's a beautiful human being. I love Drew very, very much indeed. To be honest, I preferred it when he was fat and unhappy, but what you gotta do? So, anyway, I go and see Drew. Drew's great, and I tell him about Mick Jagger, and he's like, "Fuck, are you kidding me, man? Take the week off, go to Istanbul, Turkey, meet Mick Jagger." I'm like, "Right, buddy, I will." And just as I'm leaving, and you can check this on the internet to prove it's true, Joe Walsh, the guitarist with the Eagles, was doing some comedy bits on the Drew Carey show at the time. And Joe Walsh is an amazing rock star, he's a fantastic guitarist, a Hotel California. He's an amazing guy, a charming gentleman, lovely person, but he had a very big 1980s. And the whole period has left him a little bit Jim from Taxi. So Joe hears that I'm going to meet Mick Jagger, and he says, "Say hi to Mick for me." I said, "Do you know him?" He said, "I think so." I was like, "You think so?" He said, "I think I partied with him in the 80s, but I may just have seen him on TV." I was like, "All right, whatever." So I head off to Istanbul, Turkey. It's a very long way from Los Angeles to Istanbul. First, a 12-hour flight to London, and I'm sitting in coach. It was a long flight, and it's bumpy, and the kids behind me, and it's all I was all tweaked and nervous. And then it's a 4-hour layover in Heathrow in London. Very difficult to change planes in London because the English are fucking bastards. And then I get on a smaller plane. Yeah, a smaller plane to go to Istanbul. It's another 4 hours, and the kids behind me, and it's turbulent. The chickens are falling out of the overhead luggage. Then I get to Istanbul. I haven't slept in 24 hours. I'm tweaked and I'm nervous and I'm all kind of and I get to Istanbul at night and I come out of the airport and it's unbelievable. It's amazing. The minarets and the towers and the because the Lion King was in Istanbul at the time. I jump in a cab, and the taxi driver says, "Well, do you want to go?" Because Dracula was driving a cab. "I want to take you to your destination." And I said, "Take me to the Rolling Stones were staying," and I'm not kidding. They were staying at the Istanbul Hilton. The good one, not the one by the airport. So, this is all true. So I get to the Istanbul Hilton, I tip Dracula, he's like, "Thank you." And then I go into the reception of the hotel, and big Jim Sullivan, head of Rolling Stone security at the time, lovely big Cockney gent, he's like, "You the bloke is here to see Mick?" I went, "Yeah." He went, "Yeah, he's waiting for you. He's in the penthouse suite. Go into the elevator, press PH, and it'll take you up to the penthouse suite." I'm like, all right, all right. So I get in the elevator, and I press PH, and the door's closed, and I'm like,